Beneath the canopy of these forests on the edge of Fredericton lies a curious bit of New Brunswick history. Once you navigate the twisting undergrowth here, there are small clearings where piles of rusting scrap have been dormant for decades. Junk piles like this aren't uncommon in New Brunswick's woods, often made up of garbage and scrap from old farmsteads. But for collectors like Robin McQueen, this abandoned site is a dream come true.
You'd never know it's there, but it's absolutely polluted with license plates all over the ground. Walking in there, it was like Disneyland for license plate people.
Thousands and thousands of abandoned New Brunswick license plates. These date back to the late 50s and early 60s. Different designs and styles, all in varying states of decay. If he had to guess, McQueen estimates there are at least 100,000 license plates here. A trove that's been here for decades, only recently revealed to him by a longtime friend.
And I said, so how long have you known about this? I've known you for like 30 years. How long have you known about this? And he said, oh, all my life. What?
McQueen has come here a few times this year. There's just so many different designs from years past, with different plates designating heavy trucks, taxis, tractors, and motorcycles. Many are still piled in the sequence they were produced, still paired together, separated by decaying strips of wax paper.
Here's two that have never been separated. For the first time, they've come apart.
Some are in decent enough shape that McQueen has taken them home to clean them up and display for his own collection. Others, though, fall apart upon touch, victims of rust, exposure, and time. But they're so numerous, we couldn't reach the bottom of some of these piles.
There's so many that you could spend all day, every day, for a long time trying to pick them up, and you would not be able to.
But what's also curious is the rusting carcasses of several government vehicles here as well. But as odd as the entire site is, it's apparently not uncommon if you know where to look.
It's not rare. I can think of at least 5 or 6 places that I know. I've either been there or talked to someone who was there. There are plate graveyards, and I'm sure that there are many more around the province that I've never heard about.
Gary Doherty has also been collecting license plates since he was a teenager. He estimates he's collected between 35 and 40,000 license plates from all over the world. And he has a theory as to where these piles of plates came from.
Back in the days when New Brunswick and most places used to replate every year, they had to order enough plates so that they could stock all of the motor vehicle branches. When they replated, there were always lots of leftovers. When that happens, somebody takes a half-ton truckload of boxes of plates out in the middle of the woods where nobody will see them and dumps them.
It's a theory that Jeff Carr, MLA for the area, can get behind.
Well, I'm not surprised that there's scrap in the woods. Oftentimes back in the day, in rural New Brunswick, old homesteads had their own piles of scrap, but to hear that there's thousands and thousands of provincial license plates stockpiled in the woods is a little bit surprising. From a government perspective, this is the first time I've ever heard of government material being in the woods on a farm, dumped like that.
For McQueen, he's happy to pick through these plates for interesting additions to his own collection, but he does think that eventually it's a place that should be cleaned up.
Yeah, I like to see these sort of things go to the right place, but at the same time, I'm deathly against pollution. What I think should happen is that eventually people should go in there, pick what they want out of it, but I'd love to see the province go in there and clean the place up.